Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is Dearest Mother and Dad. Love, Ruth, John, Mark, and Pamela. Ruth Smallshaw Ray's Letters to Her Parents. 1957, Part 107. This is the first part of the original, based on the original publication, Smallshaw Family Memories Collection, or SFMC number 45, published on May 11th, 2000. Letter from the editor of the SFMC, yours truly, Peter J. Ray. Patricia arrived on November 3rd, 1957. John said that watching her come was the most wonderful experience of his life. Patricia is a real living doll, pink and white, and so sweet and good. Hooray for Patricia! 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, April 15th, 1957. Dearest Mother, how I wished I'd had a movie and record of the children when your parcel arrived. I'd told Pamela you were sending her a pretty pink dress, so she was jumping up and down. We call her Jumping Bouncing Joan, and saying, "Here comes my pretty new pink dress," and insisted on wearing it right away, although I tried to get her to wait until Daddy came home. And of course, Mark had to wear his new pants and asked me if I thought they were as pretty as Pam's dress. Thank you for them. Pamela made a remark you would probably object to. "That costs money," she said. She's such a destructive little character, I guess. I must have told her that sometime. And of course they were thrilled with the cookies and the book. I use it at Sunday school. I've had another siege with Mark. We all four went to Sunday school 3 weeks in a row, which is a record for us. Usually Mark picks up a cold every time he goes, so he goes once and is out 2. With Pamela in my nursery class, I can keep her away from the runny noses and coughs. People are so thoughtless to let their children go near others when they're sick. So, as usual, Tuesday after Sunday school, Mark began a runny nose and had a cold on Wednesday. At 7:30, his temperature was 101.2, not bad, but he asked to sleep in my bed and have the steamer going. At 10 o'clock p.m., he awoke and could hardly talk or breathe, and was so choked up and coughing I was alarmed. I put him in the bathroom with the shower running for steam. Our doctor is in Florida, and I couldn't reach John. No car, the drugstore closed. Finally got a friend's doctor, and she tried to get a prescription sent out, but decided she'd better come herself, so she came and gave him a shot of penicillin and put him on sulfa. She said it was still in the upper part of his chest. The way his colds moved so fast, I was glad I hadn't waited. It's quite frightening to see him. The next day he seemed better, but Pam came down with it, so that night we put the steamer in her room, and by 6 o'clock a.m. Mark was coughing every 5 seconds. He coughed like that until 1 o'clock p.m., until I got him to sleep with medicine and steamer under a tent. He'd even thrown up all his medicine in the morning. The next day Pamela threw up all over her bed, so it may have been a virus too. 6 hours of coughing every 5 seconds was quite nerve-wracking. I was so exhausted running from one to the other, I went to bed at 8 o'clock p.m. Saturday, so I got to 8 o'clock a.m. communion Sunday, as well as 11:15 Sunday school. Wednesday night I'd slept at the foot of Mark's bed. I was so afraid to leave him. And Thursday night I'd slept partially on Pam's floor. John has slept on the living room, and he now has a sore throat. The kids have been so well, though, for a month or two. In Sunday school last week I had 18 children. My assistant said 22, 1, 2, and 3-year-olds. As I looked around the circle, Pamela looked the healthiest one in the class. Fat, rosy-faced, and sassy. We got the cutest rabbit to send to baby Brian, but Mark, just like his mother used to, took a fancy to it and wants to keep it. This afternoon, I thought he was giving in. If we can fly to Saskatchewan and visit Brian so I can play with my rabbit. He has it propped in bed with him. It's nice for you to see Brian growing up. Is Doris still nursing him? Mark was 17.5 pounds at 4 months and 23 pounds at 6 months. Has Grandpa visited you yet? I must write to him and Uncle Lloyd. This has not been my letter-writing year, just too much going on here. If all are well, we're going to Sandusky after the 8 o'clock a.m. service, planning to take the children with us. It's usually packed, though. Love and Happy Easter, John, Ruth, Mark, and Pam. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, May 6th, 1957. Dear Mother, I got the kiddies to bed at 8 o'clock, first time since the time change, so a chance for a few notes. We just love the snaps of Brian. He's just darling. A really beautiful little boy and so intelligent looking. He's like Doris, but some of his expressions are buds. I'll bet you folks adore him. Mark just came to kiss me and tell me I'm a sweet mommy and he loves me, the old stall. Pamela is a girl and a half, climbs up on windowsills, stands on the seat of her bike to reach up to the trees. Today she fell off the top of her high chair, standing on it. We've just had no spring at all. Suddenly it went into the 80s and we went down to the lake for picnics. Then after a week of that, back cool again and Mark's cough came back. They were out today, though, in the 60s and 70 tomorrow, so hope it's to stay. Pamela's had 3 sunburns, and last week they were both seriously burned. Both have good color. Pamela's the healthiest looking in my 20 children in Sunday school. I doubt if we take them again, though. There are too many sick kitties there. Yesterday I was carrying one crying baby, 14 months old, with a runny nose, and today I have a cold. Hope I don't give it to the kids. Our yellow tulips and pansies are lovely now. The lawn's been cut twice. John's been in the newspapers again. Front page, front sub-headlines in the Plain Dealer, on the Junior Chamber of Commerce stand on the subway. They suggested it be given to the voters again. John's had meetings every night of the week and gone half of Saturday and half of Sunday on JC projects. Even he is weary of meetings. We had Aunt Jemima here for Pancake Day in Bay Village. The kiddies were thrilled to shake hands and get her autograph and all her pancakes and sausage. Then Saturday night we were at a lovely dinner party in Shaker Heights and have invited them all here. 14 for an executive committee for dinner on June 1st. I don't know what to have. She had a ham. Next Saturday is the junior women's dance. Sunday, we were invited by John's folks for a Mother's Day dinner. Then the next Thursday, we go to Dayton, Ohio for 3 days for the state convention. Thursday coming, I'm supposed to model hats, but had my hair cut so short Friday I doubt if they'll want me. It's the shortest I've ever had it. Shingled almost in back. I have a luncheon on the 23rd, dinner June 6th, inaugural ball on the 15th of June. Busy almost all the time until July, it seems. We showed the slides and spoke to the Ohio State University alumni group last Monday, and they paid me $5, which I gave to the junior chamber. I was just elected treasurer of junior women's, so next year or after June 1st, I'll be handling the $2,000. Thought it would be good experience. I was community service chairman this year and had 13 committees under me, including City Council, the Board of Education, the Junior Museum, Citizens Assembly, the Blood Bank, Polio, Learn to Swim, Civil Defense, the Recreation Board, Bayway Youth Cabin, and swimming pool. I've been captain for several fund drives, the Crippled Children's, Junior Museum, and they asked me to do cerebral palsy, as I have for several years. I turned it down but feel guilty. They also asked me to be in charge of all of Bay Village for the Crippled Children's Society for next year, which I also turned down. I hate to say no, though. We're so lucky to have healthy kitties. One of my friends, when I said how much I used to like to make cookies, said, "And now you have children to enjoy them. You probably don't have time." So I decided to make cookies with the kitties every time I turned down a new project. I made a new kind of Hawaiian ones with pineapple and coconut. Very good. A friend just called and suggested I either have fried chicken or small tenderloin steak for the dinner June 1st. We've been to about 14 ham dinners. I guess that's the easiest, especially when you plan dinner for 7 o'clock p.m. and no one is ready to eat until 10:30 p.m. We're having a buffet supper at the dance Saturday. John and Dick got a $7,500 fee in last week, which helped pay a few bills. The overhead's terrific in the new setup. I got a new pair of avocado shoes. Mark wore the shirt you sent him for Easter. We had quite a day. We got up at 6:30 a.m. to go to 8 o'clock a.m. church. We kept the kiddies with us as they had coughs. Pam coughed all during communion service. Then we went down to the piers for John to greet the first ship in from Norway. After the speeches, they had a party on board the ship. Then we drove to Sandusky, and Pam threw up all over her pink coat. We had a very full day. Got home at 11 p.m., and Pam threw up all the way home. I just washed and ironed the coat in Sandusky and then had to again. Got her a new pink hat and purse, real cute. Her main ambition is to get big and wear a big dress like Mommy. And Mark wants to be a daddy when he grows up and get a big house and lots of children. 6 babies. Good night. Happy Mother's Day. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, and Pamela. May 22nd, 1957. The Dayton Biltmore Hotel, Dayton, Ohio. Dear folks, this is where we spent the weekend JC State Convention. We had a fine time. Fine food, luncheons, banquets, dances. A free room because of Cleveland had the largest increase in members. Even had breakfast in bed. Very nice. The children were with John's folks. We have a busy week ahead. Luncheon at the country club and midday club, the cruise committee. I will write. Love, Ruth, John, and all. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, August 26, 1957. Dear folks, there's been a lot going on this summer here, and it just hasn't been conducive for writing. We've had a gorgeous summer, the finest weather I can ever remember anywhere. In July and August, we've had sunny, warm days with little rain. Our June weather was very unusual and hard on us all. By the time I got on the cruise, my feet and ankles were so swollen I could hardly walk until Wednesday, and not until Friday that I was rested and the cruise was over. Then Saturday I had to get the children, get a babysitter, and meet the Ohio president at the airport. Then we had a banquet for the teenage rodeo. The first prizes were $1,000, then $500. I felt ashamed of my reckless speed to be sitting at the head table for such an event. Sunday we took the children back to Sandusky as John had an airmail special delivery letter to be in Chicago to speak Monday and a luncheon, so we took turns driving all night. 4 hours to Chicago and 4 to get through Chicago and up to Milwaukee. We had a busy week and back Friday for the children. Our friend with the Hodgkin's disease died the night we got back. She was only 23 and left 4 children, a 3, 2, 1-year-old and premature baby, 3 pounds, 3 ounces. Mark has had the croup again, and I had a cough I couldn't shake. When we were over that, we had the premature baby for a week. First time I'd ever fixed formula. She was a darling, and I hated to see her go, but Pamela got the flu. She slept for almost 5 solid days and a temperature of 103.6. I was afraid of sleeping sickness or something, but the doctor said it was the flu. John's grandpa had been in a coma since the end of June. We were sorry we hadn't taken the children down to see him while he was still lucid, but it was too late in July. He died last week, and John's mother was with him, and it was a terrific strain for her and all of them the last while. The funeral was last Friday, and half the church was his offspring. He lived a wonderful life. Frank Zook, 87 years. We brought John's cousin's son, age 6, back with us for a week, and I took him back yesterday. He certainly added something to our household. Mark gained 2 pounds trying to keep up with him at mealtime. Michael Freilich. We invited Elsie down, but didn't hear until we got the card. We got Pamela's new bed and getting the room ready. We took all the children to the zoo Sunday and to swimming, fishing, all-day outing at the new J.C. President's home at the lake Saturday. Next week is the family reunion at Lakeside, Ohio. John is swamped with work. He may be going around the world. Hope so. We've had some lovely days, picnics, and swimming at the beach. The office took care of the cruise and convention expenses, so that's good. I'm glad that you enjoyed Pamela, and thanks for her skirt and anniversary card and all the gifts you brought. It's too bad you couldn't have stayed long enough to get to know the children. When I read your letter, Mark asked, "What does sober mean?" Is that good? Does it mean they liked me or not? He's a sharp little fellow for age 4. I taught Mike Freilich to tie his shoes while he was here, and he thought it quite an accomplishment. Mark learned last fall. We would like to see Brian while he's still in the young stage. They grow up so fast. Pamela seemed suddenly so grown up when we had the baby here. It's certainly time we had another one. Pamela insisted that the parcel was for the baby and insists that the skirt is for our new baby. She says she doesn't want to wear it but save it and try it on the baby. She's a generous soul. I brought them cute plaid skirts and pants matching from Canada when the boat docked up in the Georgian Bay. We weren't far from Ruth Seifert. Grandma Zook said to tell you she was sorry she didn't see you and to say hello. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, and Pamela. To be continued. Well, that concludes today's presentation. Good luck to you with your efforts in family history. If this interests you, finding, preserving, and sharing old letters, diaries, photographs, family movies, and videos, and interviewing elderly relatives while they're alive, you might consider checking out our website, Adventures in History with Peter J. Ray, at peterjray.com. So far, we've made 663 history videos in 7 areas: world history, American history, book reviews, poetic tours, Cleveland baseball, family history, and autobiography. There's a donate feature. You might consider making a donation so we can continue making these videos. You also might consider checking out our podcast, Adventures in History, at Anchor FM, Peter Ray, REA. If you live in Metro Manila, Philippines, and are looking for a high school, you might consider Res Celeste Educational Center. Res Celeste is located in San Juan, Metro Manila, Philippines, Barangay Maytunas on Allenby Street, not far from the corner of P. Guevara and Wilson Street. At Res Celeste, we specialize in helping young people who have had difficulty in the larger traditional high schools. And we're more than a school. We're a warm, supportive community and a family-type environment. And we try to be creative and innovative. And the website is resceleste.education, RESALEST. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care. And I'll see you next time.